Hey, what's up guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist, and today I'm going to be doing a debut deck profile of my X-Sabers. Now this deck is like a deck that you guys have been going nuts in my comments for, and so I finally decided, hey, why not? Let's build it. I know this is like a super fan classic deck, and it's still pretty fun. Like, I play tested the crap out of this deck. I hope I do it justice for you guys. If not, let me know down in the comments and tell me what I need to change in this. I think it's pretty good. I actually got the Gotham's like hand loop going on in this deck, so it's pretty good. But tell me what you guys think down in the comments below, and let's get straight on to that. Before we do, guys, don't forget to check out my Patreon and check out that bell button down there so you guys can get every single one of my Yu-Gi-Oh videos on notification. I really appreciate it, guys. And tell me what you guys want to see next. Like, I really appreciate it when you guys comment and tell me what you think of the deck profiles that I make, and tell me what deck profiles you want to see in the future. I love that. I really appreciate it, and I do read every single one of y'all's comments. I do, I promise. So, let's get into the deck. So first off, we're playing 3 copies of Fall Troll. Fall Troll's effect is that it cannot be normal summoned or set. This card cannot be special summoned except while you control 2 face-up X-Saber monsters. So basically, if you control 2 X-Saber monsters, you can instantly special summon this card from your hand. And then its other effect is once per turn, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your graveyard, which is really, really good. Then I play 3 copies of X-Saber, Double X-Saber, Bogard Knight. Bogard Knight's effect is that when this card is normal or special summon, or when it's normal summon, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your hand, and it cannot be used as synchro material except for the synchro summon of an X-Saber monster, which is not a big deal because we only really play X-Saber monsters as synchro monsters, so that's not a problem. Then I played 2 copies of X-Saber Herbellum. Herbellum is pretty good because you get to special summon it out with your Invoker, and like, it's a tuner, and that's why we play it. If this card inflicts damage to your opponent by a direct attack, they discard 1 random card from your opponent's hand. That actually does come up to help you with the Gotham's loop, where you can like get them with the last one. But there is a loop that you can actually do that instantly get your opponent's hand just gone with this deck. Then I play 2 copies of X-Saber Emmer's Blades. It's a really good card. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster from your deck. It's kind of like a Mystic Tomato for X-Sabers, which is kind of cool, but it gets you the exact one that you need. Then I play 1 copy of Full Helm Knight. Full Helm Knight is when your opponent declares an attack, you can select the attacking monster, negate the attack, so like it protects itself from 1 attack, and if this card destroys a defense position monster your opponent controls by battle, you can select 1 level 4 or lower X-Saber monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So it just instantly revives whatever you need. 3 copies of Dark Soul. Not Dark Souls the video game, but Dark Souls the X-Saber. During your end phase, if this card was sent from your side of the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 X-Saber monster from your deck to your hand. Now, people like to think that Skarm was the original, but a Double X-Saber Invoker was the original. Then I played 2 copies of the Little Lizard X-Saber. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I just pronounce him Double X-Saber Rag. When this card is normal summoned, you can add 1 X-Saber monster from your graveyard to your hand. So like, the big thing that I do normally with him is if I already have an X-Saber on field, I'll normal summon him and then add Fall Troll back to hand, and then special summon Fall Troll effects, special summon another one from grave, link them together, make whatever I need, or synchro them together to do whatever I want to do. Then I play 3 copies of Summoner Monk. Summoner Monk in this deck is pretty good. You can special summon out any of your X-Saber monsters just by discarding a card, just by discarding a spell card, and like, we play a lot of spell cards in this deck, so that's a thing. And then for the final 3 cards, I play 3 copies of Rescue Cat because it's really good in this deck, and it lets you special summon just about any of your X-Saber monsters that you need. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So that's a pretty good lineup. There's a lot of combos in there that I didn't get to explain just for time's sake, but like, there is so many combos with this deck, like so many combos. So then we play 1 copy of Foolish Burial just to kind of get the cards engraved for Fall Troll to revive them, 1 Monster Reborn, and 1 Soul Charge because like, revival in this deck, if you can get a bunch of X-Sabers on the field, Gotham's is going to go nuts. because every time you tribute an X-Saber monster, you get to discard one random card out of your opponent's hand. I play 3 copies of Gotham's Second Call. This is the card that like essentially allows you to do the combos to get the Gotham loop. If you control an X-Saber Synchro monster, which, you know, cough. If you control a X-Saber Link monster, or not Link monster, Synchro monster, you can target 2 X-Saber monsters in your graveyard, special summon both those targets, ignoring their summoning conditions, but change your attack to 0 and destroy them during the end phase. You can only activate 1 copy of this card per turn, and you cannot conduct your battle phase during you activate this card. Basically, it's like discard 2 cards from your opponent's hand. Like, that's pretty much what this card does. Because if you have Gothams on the field, you tribute both the cards that you get, and then get rid of them. So then I play 3 copies of Instant Fusion for a certain card that's in the extra deck. 3 copies of Scapegoats. Scapegoats is really good in this deck because it lets you go into Link monsters to let you synchro a bunch more times, like Mrs. Radiant. Like, you can overlay into Mrs. Radiant, and then Gothams comes out at 41. Oh my god, why do I even need the loop? He comes out at 41. And then for the final 3 spell cards, I play 3 copies of Fire Formation Tinky, because when you activate this, you get to add a level 4 or lower Beast Warrior monster from your deck to your hand, which it lets us search out our Bogard Knight. That's your target for your Tinkies, and we want to get Bogard Knight quick so we can activate more cards. But that's it for the spells. Let's get into the trap cards, guys. So we're going to play 3 copies of Gotham's Emergency Call. This card is really, really important. You activate this card if there's a face-up X-Saber monster on your field. You select 2 X-Saber monsters in either player's graveyard and special summon those targets to your side of the field. So basically, if you activate this, it's a double Monster Reborn, which is really, 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 really good. Like I said, what your main purpose of the deck is to get out as many X-Sabers on the field so you can tribute them off to rip cards out of your opponent's hand with Gotham, and OTK your opponent with the amount of power that this deck can put forth. Like, you don't even have to do the Gotham's loop to make this deck really good. You can just synchro into a bunch of monsters and then activate this and then, like, attack. Like, it's really a fun deck, and it's really good. I don't play X-Saber Reflect. I don't know why. It just didn't really fit with the way I played, but I just didn't. But let's get into the extra deck, guys, and I'll explain that a little bit. But that's it for the main deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to play 2 copies of X-Saber, or Double X-Saber Gothams. This card is the main boss monster of the deck. It requires 1 tuner monster and 1 non-earth monster at minimum. And then you contribute 1 X-Saber monster to discard 1 random card out of your opponent's hand. The really cool thing about this card is that it's a level 9, so it's kind of awkward to summon out, but I have a card in this extra deck that'll let you summon it out super easy. So then I play 1 copy of my misstamped, actually, like the way the name is misstamped, so it's kind of like an error. 1 copy of Suro. His effect is that during your main phase, you contribute 1 X-Saber monster. Choose one of the effects of the follows. At the end of the damage step, if this card battles an opponent's monster, destroy that monster without damage calculation. And this card cannot be destroyed by the effect of trap cards. Basically, you just make him when you can. You're going to make this other card more often, and that's one of these. You play 1 copy of this X-Saber monster. This card's effect is that when this card is synchro summoned, you can select up to 3 spell and trap cards on the field and destroy them. This card is nuts. It is really, really good. And for the next card, we play 1 copy of Sea Monster of Thessalos. This card is our instant fusion target. We make this to like help us synchro into our Gothams. That's why I want to get Bogard Knight so quickly, because like the easiest way to summon Gothams is by getting an instant fusion and a Tinky. Like, all you have to do is instant fusion and then Tinky, add your Bogard Knight, normal summon Bogard Knight, instant fusion with into Thessalos, and then synchro them together, and you get your Gothams. Like that's why I play the instant fusions in the deck like this. So really, really, really good deck. Really, really fun. Really, really old school deck. Excuse me, that kind of fell everywhere. So then we play 1 copy of X-Saber Invoker. You can make this really easily by using your Rescue Cat and then getting 2 Rebellums out on the field. Really easy to use, and then you just like go off from there. To help us rip cards out of our opponent's hand, I actually put in Topologic Gumblar Dragon. Because I can discard cards and then make my opponent discard cards, which is really cool. Because if another monster is special summoned to a zone this card points to, while a monster is on the field, discard 1 or 2 random cards, and then your opponent discards the same number of cards, which is really, really cool. If I summon this first and then Theslos, I can rip 2 cards out of my opponent's hand, which is really cool. And then Gothams goes in and he rips out more cards. So then Borreload, because it's Borreload. Summon Sorcerer, because it helps us with, going farther. Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Phoenix and Nightmare Cerberus, so we can pop cards if we need to. 2 copies of Mrs. Radiant. I make this off of my Scapegoats. 1 copy of Underclock Taker, and then finally a Linkuriboh to finish it off. Because we can use it with the X-Saber or double X-Saber rags. That's how I make this. So, anyways, guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm glad I finally got to do this deck profile as requested. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I hope I did this deck justice with the Gotham's Call. I guess you could say I got Gotham's Call to make this deck. So, the call has been answered, and I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Hit that bell down there so you can become a part of the notification squad, and I will see you guys in the next video. See you around, guys.